You're watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.
Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick. Thanks so much for joining me in another edition of Inside Automotive right here at CBT News. After over 30 years at Toyota, Mr. Jack Hollis has found his next chapter. He's joined Accrual Equity Partners as a managing partner. Today we're joined by Jack Hollis along with Brady, Schmidt, and Jacob Tilzer, who's the founders and managing partners of Accrual Equity Partners, to talk about the future of automotive investment and what Jack is up to now, so in his new position. So I'll start with you, Mr. Jack Hollis. Thank you so much for spending some time with us and give us an update here. I mean, the industry has been trying to run smoothly without you for 6 months, and it's been tough, man. We miss you. So,
Jim, it's always good to be with you. And you know what? I'm sure the industry is going to be just fine. And you know what? And Toyota and Lexus are going to continue to be outstanding and do a great job, and they're because their dealers are amazing. No, I took the time after the retirement, got a 6-month little window here of a lot of working out, running, and just enjoying some days apart. But early on, I got to meet two gentlemen, Brady Schmidt and Jacob Tilzer. Got very excited about what they had already been doing, what they are doing, and what they want to do. And we kept talking about how this would be. And, you know, as you well know, I believe that God's in control of my life and my career and everything else I'm doing. And I felt like my assignment at Toyota was done, and my assignment to start with AEP is just beginning. And I got to tell you, I just don't think I could be more excited about it and the partnership with these two amazing men. And we're going to do our best and try to be just as successful as we can be.
That's fantastic. Well, congratulations to you. I know that that you had many opportunities and offers, I should say, to go in many different directions. Talk to me about how you made the decision to join Accrual. I mean, they were up against some stiff competition.
Yeah. Well, first, let me just say thank you to each of the people who did reach out to me and who gave me an opportunity. I was blown away, and there's a humility piece that, like, you just can't believe that people want you to join them. And so there was a lot of opportunity, and I think each one of them, most of them came from what we'll call the corporate side of things. But after 33 years of doing corporate, the itch to be more entrepreneurial, to taste that, to test that, to go for it, was pretty welcoming. Ultimately, I think it was about being able to be entrepreneurial, but stay in the automotive space, at least to start. I think we're going to go some other areas as well, but to start to be in that automotive space really allows me to still serve customers and serve dealers. And that's what I've always loved to do, and still get to do it, but from a entrepreneurial side.
That's fantastic. Well, and congratulations to Brady and Jacob for landing Jack. I know that's going to have its huge payoffs in your business. A lot of people love what he had done with Toyota, and obviously he's just a stand-up guy that people love and trust, and that goes a long way in retail automotive or in the automotive industry. Jacob, let me start with you. Tell us about your company. Tell us about Accrual Equity Partners. What services does it provide? What solutions does it provide?
Sure. So currently, we're in the automotive dealership space. We're in the collision space. We're also general aftermarket repairers. We also distribute products and fluids to dealerships and repair shops.
Wow.
We also represent buy-side, sell-side transactions within the automotive space. So we touch a lot of different areas in the automotive space. We know it from a high-level view, a ground floor view, from being inside the business, from being outside businesses helping. But my whole career and where we've gone with Accrual is embedded in and around automotive.
Okay, great. And Brady, if somebody is looking to acquire a dealership and needs funding, will you be there with funding for them as well?
Well, Jim, thanks. It's a great question. Great to be with you today. Thanks for the opportunity to chat with you for a few minutes. Well, we have a multifaceted automotive-centric company in Accrual Equity Partners. One of our flagship companies is where I spent 35 years of my career at National Business Brokers, which is Jacob just referred to in the M&A side of the business. And we have a lot of experience helping dealers and guys who want, or gals who want to be dealers, to raise capital to be able to become new car dealers. So that will definitely be a piece of what we help dealers do. And one of the things we're extremely passionate about, and I think part of the reason that the message resonated with Jack is that we care equally about being successful and helping people and helping dealers along the way. And we really do believe that dealers are the backbone of the American economy and do more good than most people know in their local communities. They're the ones that are sponsoring the baseball teams, showing up for Rotary, involved in their local churches, giving back to the local charities. And so we're very passionate about helping dealers grow, be successful, and all the automotive ancillary businesses that surround new car dealers. And so we're very passionate about that. We're in a lot of those businesses now with some of our portfolio companies, and we intend to come alongside dealers and help them continue to grow and execute on their dreams and their passion to grow.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got quite a wide depth and breadth of opportunities there, unlike many in your space. I mean, you've got technology, you've got fixed ops opportunities and collision and retail automotive and different kinds of solutions in terms of things that you're sending out to car washes or I guess body shops and what have you, and in the way of supplies. Talk to me about that. That's a little bit different than what I'm used to in the space.
I think one of the things that makes us very different is we're operators that came up in the automotive space. Jacob had a very successful business that he built, one of the largest body shop companies in the country, 50 rooftops across 7 states. Obviously, Jack's resume speaks for itself. I came up in the M&A side of the business with National Business Brokers, a family-owned company that my dad started in 1978.
Wow.
Sold more than 950 new car dealerships. And then about 7-8 years ago, I became a new car dealer myself in a Mercedes-Benz dealership in Fresno, California. And now currently together we own 4 dealerships, 3 dealerships in Hawaii and a dealership in Southern California, and plan on aggressively growing that footprint with new car dealerships. And one of the things that attracted me to Jacob, we got to know each other actually in a personal context, serving on the board of a nonprofit called Petra Cares that intervenes in the lives of kids that are aging out of foster care, and we give them a 7-week training course to become a level 1 technician in a new car dealership.
That's a great idea.
And we help place them into a new car dealership. And Jacob's passionate about that mission as well. We got to know each other while serving on that advisory board of that nonprofit. And as we got talking, he's like, gosh, I know body shops super well and built a really great business and a lot of these other ancillary businesses. And you're in the new car business and you have this M&A company. We should form a holding company and put something together. So something that makes us very different is we're a self-funded private equity company. We're not out in the market trying to raise capital, at least not today. And when I saw that Jack resigned from Toyota, he and I had actually met at another nonprofit charity event called Giving Hope New Orleans, Troy Duhan's charity there.
I know it well. Yep, Troy's doing amazing work.
Yeah, he does. An amazing human being. And Jack and I met there a couple of years in 2022, a couple of years prior to starting this conversation. And I just simply called Jack and said, Jack, I don't know what your next step is, but if you want to come join Jacob and I and do something where we can make a big difference and have a big impact on the industry that we're all so passionate about, we'd love to have a conversation with you about it. And that just developed over a handful of months, and it became clear that this was the right fit.
That is fantastic. Jack, as you know, fixed ops is something, obviously Jacob knows this as well, but this is an area that every dealer is focusing on. I'm sure, Brady, you are as well, because it seems to be the area that through thick and thin, we all end up in fixed ops, right? Whether it be through COVID, what are we going to have to offer? We're going to have fixed ops. The same thing holds true now with the tariffs that we see. Everything kind of leads back to how much can we make in fixed ops. Talk to me about that and the future of fixed ops.
Future of fixed ops is going to be, as it should have always have been, should be the major focus of every dealership and every independent out there. It's what drives. It's recession proof. If you have a problem with your car and you need it to drive, you gotta have it fixed. And it's technicians and the need for more technicians, which is something we're going to be working on. And I think ultimately the focus here, and it has been, has got to be, how do you take care of the local customer, not just faster, but more personally. How do you develop that relationship? Some dealers do it really, really well. Some dealers don't focus on it at all.
That's right.
And in those marketplaces, that's where you'll see someone like us come around and really help the customer. It's got to be about making sure the customer's taken care of.
That's right.
It is a business that is still, it's full and still not good enough. Meaning it has plenty of people wanting to do the business, but why is there such a difference, from A to Z in quality? And we're going to be at the top of that, and we'll compete really well.
Yeah, no question. Jacob, as you know, many times in a dealership operation, the GM or maybe even the dealer principal typically came out of variable ops. Sometimes I get emails on this topic because I'll hear from a fixed ops that says, I'm a dealer and I came out of fixed ops. But for the most part, they come out of variable ops. Would you agree, Jack, that they run a good showroom, they become GM, and then they become a dealer principal, what have you? And it seems as though the people that have actually come out of fixed ops and have been an effective fixed ops director run even a better operation when they become a general manager or a dealer. Would you agree with that?
I would, because they pay all the bills with the fixed op money, and any car they end up selling falls right to the bottom.
That's right.
Totally.
Yeah.
Fixed ops is so nuanced, and I'm not saying the new car side of sales is not, but managing technicians and throughput and, profit per RO, there's a lot of levers to pull in the service department. So I think the fixed ops guys that have been in it, lived in it, and get it, they pick up the variable side pretty quick.
Yeah.
Sell a car, I got front end, back end, here's what I'm in the car for, and it's a pretty quick transaction versus, hey, in a repair shop where we've got a $15,000 warranty bill, and we've got to change a motor, and that's going to be a 3-week job, and the billing process behind it, to me, is a little bit more nuanced and technical.
That's right. Brady, with your M&A background and your experience as a dealer principal, you bring a rare kind of a dual perspective. What trends are you seeing in the dealership buy-sell market right now?
Well, Jim, as you know, you see every day too, consolidation is going to continue to happen. And, where we've really found a sweet spot over the last 40 some odd years has been dealing with dealers that are 3 to 7 rooftops, 10 rooftops, in that medium to small dealer group space. And those dealers need to grow. Those dealers need to add more rooftops to stay competitive in the marketplace of the future, because to be successful today is very different than what it's going to take to be successful even 3, 4, 5 years from now with the advancement in technology, especially AI.
Yeah, for sure.
And Jacob could talk a lot about that. He focuses on that area for our company. But with the advances in AI alone, there are a lot of things that are done in dealerships today that are going to be very different and done very differently in very, very short order. And the dealers that aren't big enough to make that investment across their platform are going to find themselves falling behind. And so our goal is to get the message out to show dealers what we're doing and help dealers do exactly what we're doing to shore up the technology side of the business in order to be able to stay relevant and stay ahead of that curve. And then obviously those dealers that decide they're not ready to make that investment or they don't want to go down that journey, then we're going to be here for them to help them exit in the best way possible for the best outcome for them and their families.
Sure. Brady, if somebody's listening right now and they're a dealer and they've got a few stores and they're thinking about maybe now is the time, they're maybe in their late 60s, early 70s, they don't have anybody to leave the dealership to per se, and they're thinking about, hanging it up. What's the typical process, or I should say the length of time, maybe the process too, but what's the typical length of time from the time you get that call that says, hey, we need some help here, we want to take it to market, from the time that they're actually walking off the showroom with their check, so to speak?
That's a great question. We're a little different than most of our contemporaries in this space. We really want to add a lot of value on the front end of the process. So what we try and encourage our clients to look really as far ahead as you can look in this process and get started today. So it's not uncommon for us to begin a relationship with a client and we help them improve their business for a number of years before we even take them to market.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And what we've really realized is when you care about the outcomes so much and you realize that this dealer or his family or her family they've blood, sweat, and tears and every dollar they have at risk in this business.
Right.
Our responsibility is to help them have the best outcome possible. And it's not just money. It's making sure the legacy of their business is carried on. It's making sure that the employees are well taken care of and we find the right fit for that business.
Yeah.
But in terms of the economics, the sooner we get involved, the more we can impact their profits. And as buyers are looking at these businesses with a trailing 12 months or the last 12 months calendar year or the last couple of years of income, it makes a significant impact in the outcome of the price of these dealerships. But to answer your question directly, from the time we take an assignment to take a dealership to market to get an actual closing and the factory's timing has a lot to do with this because they take a lot of this time in the approval process, but it's about a year. It's about a year-long process.
Okay. I see you nodding your head there, Jack, earlier about, taking care of the business before you actually take it to market. Talk to us about the importance of that. Obviously, every dollar that you can bring to the bottom line or to the net profit, you may get $7, $8, $9 times that, right? And there are those dealers that think, well, let me just run out there, sell my store, and be gone. But that's not necessarily, to Brady's point, that's not the way to go, right?
I think it's when most people you get into the dealer business, you want to make money. And you should. You're putting your capital at risk, and you want to get a payback for it. That's what it should be. But once it's established, there's a legacy piece that I think I was nodding my head on it because it's more than that. It's what are you doing to influence your community, influence the customer, and it's still about what you're giving.
Right.
And if you're only focused on what you're getting, it's going to end up feeling a little bit empty.
Yeah.
It's never enough. But if you're talking about how much you're giving to that community, to the customer, whatever, it actually grows and upon itself 7, 8, or 9 times. And I think one of the things that we're focused on through Brady's business at MBB, it's how can we set up a situation where there's 3 wins, a win-win-win. Because unfortunately, in a buy-sell situation, there oftentimes one feels like they won and somebody feels like they lost.
Right.
We can't let that. It has to be a win and win, and the third win, and that is the community, right? So that's the goal, really, as we go forward, and that's why you got to take care of that business, keep growing that, right, to the best of your ability, and then when it's time, like you said, get to a certain age or you're just done. How can we hand it off with a great handoff so that both parties are happy and maybe even stay friends going forward? And it's rare, and I'm not saying we can do it every time, but shouldn't our goal be to make it something like that? And that's where I like to see us go.
Yeah, Jack, that's such a good point, because one of the things that's interesting about Accrual Equity Partners is between Jacob's fixed ops experience, Jack's OEM and retail experience and marketing experience, my experience in M&A and as a dealer, we have the opportunity to come alongside dealers and help them actually optimize and break through barriers that they're butting up against to get to the next level in the business. And then if they decide they want to exit and sell, then we have a solution for them. If they decide they want to grow, we have a solution for them. If they decide they want to get exceptionally good at what they have with what they have and optimize that for their own sake and their people's sake, we have a system to come alongside them to do that. So it's really an interesting model where it's not just a private equity firm that's out making investments in private companies to grow our own portfolio. We have a much bigger plan in mind, and it really is to elevate the new car business and all of the ancillary businesses that surround the new car business.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I would imagine it also doesn't hurt to have Jack Hollis on the team when you're trying to get Toyota approval. Right? What are the ins and outs of that deal?
You never know.
I think having Jack Hollis on the team accomplishes that in spades with everybody, because and Jack, I'm gonna brag on you for a second. I know you hate it when I do this, but Jack has had an illustrious career at Toyota and Lexus, and made a huge impact in the industry. And I'll tell you, Jim, he had offers that, none of us could have touched
I'm sure.
to bring
Yeah.
him. So I'll tell you that, when he talks about feeling like he's found the place that he's supposed to come, there's truth behind that. If you look at our purpose and values for Accrual Equity Partners, one of the lines says that there is a plan that is bigger than us.
This is true.
And a series of intentional events that have brought us here.
That's right.
And the story about Jack joining this company is absolutely proof and evidence of those statements. And again, it's not just about going out and making a big splash and making big income, which we will and we are and we intend to, but it really is just as much, if not more, about making an impact in the people that come along for the ride with us, and not only the people that work for us, but our clients and just in general people in the space. So Jack is someone who exemplifies those things in every way. So we're super excited to have him on the team and know it's a great fit.
Well, we're sorry to lose him on kind of the wholesale retail side, but it looks like he's moving over to the M&A side, which is a good side to move over on. I speak to all of your colleagues in the M&A space here at CBT News, and they tell me it's another incredible year for the closings that they have lined up, the interest on both the seller side and the buyer side out there. As you know, Jack, whenever I ask any of the individuals, the colleagues in the industry, we say, what's on the top 5 list that dealers want? Toyota is either 1, 2, or 3, right?
Yeah. And it hasn't changed since I've been gone. It's kind of interesting because all of my good friends at Toyota and Lexus on the dealer side, they've all just these past 7 days have been calling. Where I was getting 2 phone calls a day, now I'm getting 4, and it's like just more and more. And those are very, very valuable assets and and dealerships, but there's a lot out there. And I think there's a lot of dealerships and dealers who are looking for ways to continue to grow. And if we can help them, great. If we can't, then maybe, they go on their own way, but we're going to give it our best.
I would imagine you're going to get calls from individuals where you actually signed their dealer agreement and said, hey, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, you approved me as a dealer and now it's time to sell, and I like you and I like what you've done for me as a dealer and help me out. And so here's
quite a few of those, Jim. You are right on it. I've got quite a few of those. And you know what's great about it is to think about some of those go back 30 years and to have conversations who now are in the public space, the public ownership space, or the big dealership groups. And some of them just calling to say, hey, thanks. And maybe it's not to do business together later, but it's to say thank you for helping me be part of it, for believing in me 25, 30 years ago.
Right.
And then some have said, hey, what do you want to do next? How do we work together now? And it's and we'll see how that works out. But it is actually really I don't want to say, I guess it's heartwarming to just know how many relationships I've been able to be a part of, where I've kept them going for 25 and 30 years. They've kept them going for 25 and 30 years. And now we're in a new place to say, maybe we can help each other again. And that feels pretty darn good. That's
right. In fact, I'll give you the last word on this. What message do you want to leave the dealers with that are watching right now? And you've got so many entrepreneurial type dealers out there that want to grow their businesses, that want to make some fundamental changes for the better. What message do you want to leave them with?
Man, I guess thank you. I guess there's 2 I would say. One is I want to say thank you, especially to every Toyota and Lexus dealer. It's been an honor to be able to serve them. It has been it's been a gift to be able to serve them. And the second one is the word serve. I think to every dealer, we can do better. I still feel like every dealer, it's kind of the Japanese word of kaizen. There's always a continuous improvement to get better. And I truly believe that if we could just think a little bit more about what we're giving to people, giving in the way of service, giving in the way of relationship, giving in the way of ourselves and our passions, that this industry will continue to be the envy of the world, and it will continue to produce in ways that really make the United States even stronger. And I think the word has to be about serve or servanthood, one way or the other. It's got to be about serving. And I think we could do better.
I think I agree. I say Jack Hollis for president 2028.
Come on, let's go.
Jack Hollis, Brady Schmidt, and Jacob Tilzer, thank you so much for joining me on the show today. Very much appreciate it. You'll see on the screen a way to get hold of these gentlemen if you're interested in talking to them directly. So we'll have that right up there for you. But guys, thanks so much. This has been a real treat for me. Best of luck to all of you. Love to do a follow-up with you to see how things are moving along.
Thank you, Jim.
Anytime. Jim, thank you. Appreciate you.
Great, thanks.
Thanks for watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.